Hey fam, today we're going to be covering a really simple formula that's going to help you qualify or disqualify niches, meaning good niches and bad niches, but also the same formula can be used in order for you to qualify sales prospects. So you can figure out if they are worth converting or saying goodbye to. Both really important things, all solved by one simple formula. So this is for you. If you want to figure out a fantastic and profitable niche, one that you're going to be able to thrive in, one that you're going to be able to make a difference and impact in, and of course create financial freedom, then this formula is going to help guide you in a very simple way. And of course, if you're someone that is doing sales and sales calls and you are finding it hard to qualify the right prospects, this will also tick the boxes for you. Now, this is not for you if you want to be broke, if you want to be confused, if you want to fluff about for months and months and years trying to figure out the right niche. If that's you, get off this video, 100% not the right one for you. But if you're ready to take some action, you're ready to figure out exactly where you're going to thrive, both in niche and sales, then this is going to help you. So let's get into it. It's a very simple formula and it's called the MAN formula. So we start with M. The M stands for money. Now, of course, when you're picking a niche, you need to think about the financial reward and also the ease of conversion when picking the right niche for you. This is so important. Most coaches, most consultants, unfortunately, pick the wrong niches and sub-niches, the niches where the prospects don't have the money to solve their problems and they're not able to, of course, pay you to solve their problems. Also, you've really got to think about the speed to conversion and the ease to conversion. If you are picking niches that don't, unfortunately, have the income level to pay you, it is very hard. You can think about this. If you have someone on a low income level and your niche is completely directed at them and you're selling a high ticket coaching consulting package that, of course, is valuable and you should be selling it at, again, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. If someone who unfortunately does not have that income capacity, it would take an extreme amount of commitment, an extreme amount of pain, and of course, an extreme level of resourcefulness for them to find the money to pay you to solve that problem. And so what that means is, it means that it's going to be harder for you to convert. It means that you are going to have a longer sales cycle. You're going to have to be really good at sales and your marketing better be mind-blowing. There is minimal room for mistakes when you're in that category. On the flip side, if you are selling to a higher income level, you are selling to individuals that have the means to pay you, also have a problem to solve, you can imagine how much easier that sales conversation is going to be. It's going to be an easier conversion all round. So when you're picking the niche, remember, first and foremost, you've got to be thinking, is this financially viable for you and for the market? Does the category of avatar that you are serving or wanting to serve have the disposable income in order to pay you high ticket to get the consulting or to get the coaching that you are going to be delivering to them? All right, so that's point number one, to figure out the right niche. Now, what do I mean by authority? When you are picking the right niche, you need to remember that you must be able to position yourself as the authority for that market, for that avatar, in order to sell and convert with ease. If you know that you are not able to solve a problem, that you are not able to position yourself as the authority in that category, then you need to look at a different niche or sub-niche until you get your competency level and skill level up to an area or criteria that then will enable you to become the authority in that category. It's so freaking important. Remember, there are a lot of coaches, consultants out there. What's going to make you different? Now, you don't need to be an absolute guru, but you must be at least a few chapters ahead to be able to be the authority and over-deliver for that avatar and for that segment of the market. Okay? Super important. So again, the M stands for money. Is this niche financially viable? Do they have the disposable income in order to pay you and pay you easily enough that it's not going to send them broke. Number two, can you position yourself as the authority in the marketplace? Again, really important to make sure that you separate yourself, that you are noticed, and that you're on track. And the third part to the man formula is need. Now, what do I mean by need? What I mean by need is, does the avatar in the market actually need what you can deliver on and what you service? Now, we often create businesses with a lot of different random ideas. We want to do what we think is awesome and do what we would like. But sometimes that's not the best thing for that avatar or that part of the market. So when you're picking the right niche, you've got to remember that you need to niche down and solve a specific problem. And you need to make sure that that problem, of course, is big enough in this prospect/avatar's world that they are going to pay you to solve it. The bigger the problem, the higher the ticket. Remember that. The bigger the problem, the higher the ticket, and the easier it is to convert. So when you're picking a niche and you're trying to figure out the right category, rather than testing and measuring a bunch of random different things, we need to upgrade our thinking frameworks so we can get the win faster. We can get to the ideal solution and the ideal framework for our business as quickly as possible. So in regards to our niche picking criteria, we're going to first think, do they have the money at their disposal in order to purchase from you at a high ticket? Number two, can you be the authority in this space? Are you at least a few chapters ahead in order to help these individuals so they can look up to you, you can lead them, and of course, get them the win? You need to be able to over-deliver. And then number three, do they have the need, the actual desire that is strong enough and problematic enough that they are going to part ways with their money and pay you to help them solve that problem, okay? So hopefully you're thinking about your actual niche and sub-niche right now. You might need a pivot. Maybe if you haven't decided yet, this is going to be the key determinant to help you figure it out a whole lot quicker. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking, maybe I need to change some things up, then go ahead and do it. And you can head on over to our free 10K challenge. Just FYI, we've got a whole bunch of free modules on this in our free challenge. And of course, we can walk you step by step through this, as well as give you feedback in the group if you want to help, of course. Absolutely free. Now, the other thing we can look at is sales. How can we also use the man formula in a sales capacity? Now, when you are triaging clients, so people have booked in for an application call or a sales call or something like that, first job as a pro-level salesperson is to triage these calls. We need to figure out, is that prospect actually the right fit for us? And thinking through a framework to determine that as fast as possible is super, super important, okay? So how are we going to do this? We're just going to, again, use the man formula to think through how can we SQL this prospect, meaning SQL, sales qualified lead. How can we determine if they are a sales qualified lead for our business and our coaching or consulting, all right? So number one, we need to financially qualify them. Remember, when you're in a sales conversation, we must qualify before we sell. You need to remember that you are showing up almost like a doctor would. A doctor would never just come in, throw you a bunch of drugs and walk away. He needs to sit there, ask you questions, diagnose the problem before they can prescribe a solution. Now, you as an authority, you as a leader must also ask questions to figure out if you can prescribe a solution to their problem, okay? And one of the first things you need to do is figure out, are they financially viable as a client? Are they financially qualified? Now, of course, we've got a bunch of Socratic questioning that we can ask to figure that out. One of those questions is, cool, are you balancing work with your current goals at the moment? And they will say, yes, I am. Okay, brilliant. Do you work full-time or part-time? I work full-time. Amazing. What do you do? I'm a lawyer. Okay, fantastic. And so through that small chunk of Socratic questioning, I have just financially qualified them to a degree that they are working full time, they're a lawyer, they're probably making between 100 to 180,000 a year, and then I can say, yes, that financially qualifies them to move forward to my next qualifying point. Does that make sense? So when we're qualifying a prospect, we need to figure out, are they financially qualified? The next qualification point is authority. Now, this time you're thinking about authority in two different ways. Number one, you are thinking about it in regards to you. Can you be the authority for them? Are you a few chapters ahead enough to actually help this person? You never pitch someone, you never sell someone that you can't help. Again, you must be in integrity. You've got to be a good human. I hope that's ringing true for you. So if you know you can't help them, they are disqualified. The other way you need to think about authority in regards to this framework when you're doing a sales call is, are they the authority that will be able to say yes to this? Do they have the authority to actually say yes to making the sale? And what do I mean by that? Sometimes you're going to get on a call and they will not be financially qualified themselves, but maybe their partner is. Maybe the partner's the breadwinner and they are not able to make a decision without their partner. So they are not authorized to say yes at that stage. So we need to remember that and think about that in order to get the deal done. Now, it doesn't mean they're disqualified, but you also need to remember that you're probably going to have to get the partner online, the business partner online, have a further conversation to close them. It will be important to be able to sell the partner or whoever is the authority in order to get the transformation and the coaching package actually sold. Okay? So these are the two ways we're looking at authority. Can you be the authority for them? And are they the authority that is able to say yes to coaching with you, to actually paying and handing over the credit card? All right? Really important. So again, we're thinking about that from a sales perspective. And then number three is need. Yet again, we are thinking about, do they have a problem that you can solve? Is there problem and challenges and needs and desires in the lane that you are actually able to over-deliver on? Because if they're not, again, back to being the authority, it's so important that you either refer them to someone else or you let them go. You let them go, find someone else to help them. The worst thing you can do is overpromise and under-deliver. I'll say that again. The worst thing you can do is overpromise and under-deliver. So we need to make sure that you are absolutely clear that you can help, you can serve, so you over-deliver and your brand and reputation grows from there. So we can use this MAN formula in two different pretty epic ways. You can qualify or disqualify niches and sub-niches with this simple criteria, and you can also qualify or disqualify prospects in a sales process using this criteria. It's one that is really easy and simple to remember. And so you're going to be able to integrate this into your thinking frameworks and you'll start to see the business game differently immediately and every sales conversation differently and immediately. So I hope you got some value from this. This is the MAN formula, easy, simple, qualify or disqualify framework. And I really hope that this has added some value to you so you can grow, you can serve and make the impact that you've always wanted to make. If you've loved this video, please share it with someone that you care about, like and subscribe. And if you are interested in our free 10K challenge, hit the link in our bio. You're able to join absolutely free where we actually take you through a whole format, videos and workbooks where you're able to work out your niche, your sub-niche, your dream avatar and everything in between. I think you're going to love that as well. We'll see you on the next video.